As the news continues to unfold, Kairi News is first as it happens. The lead stories, the breaking stories, the developing stories, the human interest stories. Now stand by for the Kairi FM reports. As the news continues to unfold, Kairi News is first as it happens. The lead stories.
I'm Steve Vidal with the major news. First, a look at the headlines. 2 athletes to represent Dominica in Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. From the region, health workers in Suriname strike. Officials threaten disciplinary action. And internationally, the death toll mounts amid looting in South Africa. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories in a moment.
It is not a clothesline Kumeti had Ushishi. It is not the line your grandmother used to hang her Christmas cards. It is not an ordinary line. The Manikou had no chance. The core was stood right on line. I'm talking about power.
As the news continues to unfold, Kairi News is first as it happens. The lead stories, the breaking stories, the developing stories, the human interest stories. Now stand by for the Kairi FM reports.
And people on video calls. The new way to make sure we can all stay connected and be together. Start living, get bipping. Download BIP today.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality fresh eggs straight from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the quantity. We've got the right amount. Visit us at Prince City downstairs Kairi FM on Independence Street for your fresh farm eggs, or call telephone 448-7331, 448-7330 or 448-8752 and we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
I'm not exaggerating, boiling with excitement.
Welcome back, and we say good evening and welcome to all our listeners and viewers. In the news, the Dominica Olympic Committee has confirmed that the Commonwealth of Dominica will be represented at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games by 2 athletes, 1 male and 1 female. According to a press release from the Dominica Olympic Committee, Dominica will compete in the sport of athletics with 2018 Commonwealth Games bronze medalist Thea Lafort. Lafort, who is from the community of Maho, is currently based in the United States. She secured a qualification in triple jump with a personal best of 14.33 meters in February 2020 and is currently ranked number 12 in the world. She will be the female first Dominican athlete to compete in 2 consecutive Olympic Games. The second athlete is Danick Luke, who hails from Portsmouth and is currently completing his tertiary education in Jamaica. Luke secured a universality placement in the discipline of 800 meters. Luke will be the country's first 800-meter runner competing at the Olympic Games since 1996. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit is of the view that a new minimum wage order for Dominica will help citizens improve their standard of living. Government announced last week that it would increase the minimum wage across the board to take effect September 1. Mr. Skerrit is confident the measures will benefit employees here.
After extensive review, government decided that effective September 1, 2021, we will increase the minimum wage in Dominica. This increase applies across all wage categories. The review was undertaken after extensive consultation with relevant stakeholders, including international partners such as the International Labour Organization. The new minimum wage order is another indication of this government's preoccupation with improving the livelihoods of the most vulnerable among our citizens and creating the right environment for our people to progress. These measures are being implemented at a time when revenues are down and the economy is stressed due to the impact of a worldwide pandemic. However, I believe these decisions by the government are necessary to secure a better standard of living for all our people.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. The DCP successors has become the first business on the island to receive the Dominica Bureau of Standards Good Manufacturing Practices certificate. A ceremony to bestow the honor took place at the DCP compound in Belfast earlier today. Yvonne Asif says now that the factory has received the certification, it can now move forward with regional partnership that has already been in the works.
And we're at a stage now where CARICOM, especially with the challenges we've had in certain markets, is too small for us. There are times when we have soap, we have no orders because the market is small. So we've been wanting to break into the Dominican Republic, which is a huge market, twice the size of CARICOM, but we have not been able to do so without the GMP certification. We have that now, so we've been working on translating our labels and doing all the other stuff they require, but this was the big thing we needed. So now that we have that, we can now begin the process of entering the DR market, which will take time still, but really this was a very first and important point.
And that was Yvonne Asif. Director of the Dominica Bureau of Standards, Mervyn LaRocque, has commended the company's ability to manufacture goods not just on a national level, but also regionally.
And we're at a stage now where CARICOM, especially with the challenges we've had in certain markets, is too small for us. There are times when we have soap, we have no orders because the market is small.
And apologies for that insert. Moving on with the news this evening, new Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica-China Friendship Hospital, Dr. William Dexter James, says the new Marigot Hospital is near completion with plans for a phased introduction of services. Dr. James said on Sunday the facility is 95% complete and a wide range of emergency and inpatient services will be provided. James says phase 1 of the hospital opening will focus on ambulatory services.
Across the region where in one facility you have an ambulatory center that opens, let's say, from 8:30 to 4:30, and then there's the inpatient side that provides inpatient services and accident emergency services. The facility is 50 beds, 2 operating theaters, 6 ICUs, 4 recovery beds. It makes provision for 2 dental chairs, 2 dialysis units, dispensing and laboratory investigations, 3 delivery suites. I'm sure Dr. Blind is very happy about it, but there are 3 delivery suites there. And a full-service accident and emergency department with imaging studies and ultrasound. It is our intention to not heighten expectations of the public beyond what we could deliver. So our approach is to have a phased opening of the hospital. Phase 1 will see what I will call the ambulatory center side kicking in. We will have dispensing, we'll have laboratory investigations, we will have dental services, we will have dialysis services. Indeed, what we intend to do is patients who live in the north and northeast part of the island, we would have them dialyze at Marigot Hospital to improve access. So what it does, it decompresses activity at the hospital.
Dr. James says primary care clinics will also be set up in phase 1 with a focus on the management of chronic non-communicable diseases. According to him, phase 2 will introduce services in emergency care.
Phase 2 would see what I refer to as the trauma center and stabilization unit. here is where the Accident and Emergency Department will be phased in to manage trauma and stabilize patients and prepare them for a good condition for transfer to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital for continuity of care. And the final phase, once we get all the doctors and nurses on board, is the inpatient care. All right, so our approach is really to phase it in until such time that we get to phase 3. We're pretty much excited about it because it could create for us a difference in terms of that seamless movement between primary and secondary care, when the entire facility is completed. As I said, there are no facility I know of in the region that has in its infrastructure that combination of ambulatory care and inpatient care. The intention is to also have specialist clinics. We're going to bring specialist clinics to the center on selected days. Urology, gastroenterology, again, as she's raised earlier on, to raise the bar with respect to our screening programs. So this facility is going to be a model that we believe that will be the fillip for driving the changes that we expect to see in primary health care and certainly in terms of inpatient care.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, Dr. William Dexter James. The Regional Health Services is threatening to take disciplinary action against healthcare workers who went on strike Monday, disrupting services in several regions. The RGD has since called on all employees to resume work on Tuesday, noting that the strike action by the health workers had affected consultations for babies and infants, as well as the taking of swabs. The workers are demanding the dismissal of the chairman, Robbie Narendrop, who they said had signed an agreement with the employer before discussing it with them. The employees say they are against one-off payment and a lump sum to compensate for the past year and instead would prefer receiving SRD 12, as has been in the case with the academic hospital, Paramaribo. The death toll in South Africa has risen to 72 after violence engulfed parts of the country after the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma. This includes 10 people killed in a stampede during looting on Monday night at a shopping center in Soweto. The BBC filmed a baby being thrown from a building in Durban that was on fire after ground floor shops were looted. The military has now been deployed to help the police overstretched since the unrest began last Thursday. According to a police statement, a total of 1,234 people had been arrested since the unrest began on Friday. President Cyril Ramaphosa has called it some of the worst violence witnessed in South Africa since the 1900s, before the end of apartheid, with fires set, highways blocked, and businesses and warehouses looted in major cities and small towns in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng provinces. Ministers have warned that if looting continues, there is a risk areas could run out of basic food supplies soon, but have ruled out declaring a state of emergency. You've just heard the news locally, regionally, and internationally. Before we leave you, a look at the headlines once again. 2 athletes to represent Dominica in Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. From the region, health workers in Suriname strike, officials threaten disciplinary action, and the death toll mounts amid looting in South Africa. Do join us tomorrow morning at 6:30 for the first newscast of the day. In the meantime, catch Kairi News 24 hours a day at www.kairifm.com. You can also follow and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/KairiFM, or you can follow us on Twitter at KairiFM Dominica. On behalf of the entire news and production team and our sponsors, I am Steve Vidal. Good night.
BIP Messenger is the new way to connect. Messaging made simple. Whether you're connecting with friends or family, celebrating a birthday, or just hanging out to chat, BIP's got you covered with up to 10 people on video calls. The new way to make sure we can all stay connected and be together. Start living, get BIPing. Download BIP today.